Okay. Hey everybody, Will Roberts out here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm on set for a TV show, and it's a docudrama. I can't say what it is, but I will tell you I am on set, and we have to be kind of quiet. So anyway, now recently I've been getting a lot of people direct messaging me saying, hey, if I want to be a professional actor, is there such a thing as being too late? Meaning like I'm too old, or I already have a career and I would like to try to do this maybe as a hobby in the beginning, but then actually do something. And I say to you, absolutely possible. See, back in the 80s when I started, maybe not as possible, because it was more difficult to get yourself out there, to market yourself, because you had an agent, a headshot, and you crossed your fingers they were going to be able to get you work. Nowadays, that's just not true. Here I am with my iPhone 8 Plus, and we have the world of possibilities. But you know what? I want to really talk about this, so let's go to my studio and really get into this. Come on. Okay, so here we are. We are in my studio. Actually, of course, this is my garage. But I made it into a studio because nowadays you can do that. Because of the technology and because it's inexpensive now to get this type of equipment, you can set this up, do your own studio, and you're on the way to, well, who knows, booking the next Spielberg film. Now, you may laugh, but that's quite possible. In this place, I've done an awful lot of auditions, including Netflix, Amazon, and on and on and on. So, if you stick with me for the next few minutes, I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks on how you can become a professional actor. Whether you're young or you're old, it doesn't matter when you start. Whether or not you, for the first time, want to do this, or you've always wanted to do this, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. Hey, make sure you sign up to allcasting.com. That's allcasting.com to get more tips and more tricks just like this to get yourself in the industry. So without further ado, we only need one more element to this thing to get started, and that's action. Action. Word association. Here we go. Action. All right. So, let's start off at the beginning. You kind of know who I am because it says Will Roberts right there. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I spent about 38 years in this world of film, TV, theater, live performance. Now, let me tell you this, that it has not been an easy road, but it has been a fun road. And as you start doing this and you start accumulating all this great experience, you then get to the point where you really dial it in and you know exactly what you're going for. Finding out what your goals are in the industry of acting is absolutely essential. And here at Allcasting, I'm sure we're going to give you some great tips on how to do that for the future. Also, how to set up a self-taping area, a booth, or perhaps a voiceover booth. We're going to be doing all of that. Follow us as we go along. But as I said, I've been in the industry. I worked for Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas for several years. I've been on TV with Netflix and Amazon and Fox and so on and so on. And I have to tell you something. A lot of it started in here. That's right. See, back in the day when I started in the 80s, it was much more difficult because we didn't have this technology and we didn't have our smartphones. We had a lot of expensive, heavy equipment. And you had to go into an editing bay and know exactly what you're doing. Nowadays, it is just so much easier to do. So, with that being said, let me give you some great tips. I'm going to give you some great tips that you can use and help you get through the learning curve. Again, if you want to start off doing this and become a professional actor, follow us on allcasting.com and you will get some great tips and we'll help you get through the learning curve, because it can be very daunting. All this stuff, it's very big and it's very difficult sometimes, but once you start getting it, you're on the way to your career. Here we go. So let's get right to business here. Let's get to work. You're going to need a pen and a paper to write down this stuff. I know some of you are going, pen and paper? I don't need that. Whatever you need to take notes, you're going to want to do. Because the thing about acting is, and you should understand this because a lot of people don't, is this is a business. You are selling yourself. And this equipment helps sell you and make you look really, really good. So we're going to give you some tips to be able to get on the road to become a professional actor. Here we go. All right, tip number one. First thing you want to do is you want to do research. Now, allcasting.com is a great place to be able to do that. Again, make sure you sign up and subscribe to our YouTube and anywhere you can that you see Allcasting, because we're going to give you information, tips, and tricks that you can use and learn, because that's my first tip. Learn as much as you can about this business. There's articles in here on how to audition, how to do headshots, how to get headshots, where are the auditions, of course they're on allcasting.com, and other things too. But more importantly, the more you know, the better off you are. The worst thing in the world is what's the word I'm looking for? Well, let's just say a not educated actor. That's a nice way to put it, because you go into an audition and you don't know there's etiquette, or you submit something online. You don't know that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. And the way that you're going to learn this, you're going to have to do a lot of your own homework, is you're going to have to do research. Checking allcasting.com all the time is going to give you all this great information. And you can certainly ask questions, because we're highly engageable. That's us. We engage. Okay, so the next tip for you. I want you to get very comfortable in front of a camera. Now, that's easy to do these days because you got a camera phone, just like mine. You can get in front of your camera, get yourself some equipment, which we'll show you on allcasting.com. And once you do that, you just need to consistently do things in front of a camera. I don't care if it's Snapchat, Instagram, auditions, self-tapes, or whatever. If you just want to do it for fun and make little comedy bits or serious bits, you should be doing that, because the most important thing you need to become is comfortable in front of the camera or on stage, wherever you want to do this, whether you want to be a stand-up comedian, a magician, a TV, a film actor, a commercial actor, very different, all of them. You're going to want to learn the skills, and the first skill is getting comfortable on the camera. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, well, but Will, you've been doing this for 100 years. You probably, you just do it. So how can you tell us? I mean, do you ever even get nervous? Yes, I do. But I've gotten it to the point where I can focus it to do whatever I want to do. Hey, there was a time when I started that I wasn't as calm and cool and collected as I am now. And you know what? It was very difficult. But I was persistent and I kept doing it. So your tip is, do as much as you can in front of a camera. Get comfortable in front of it. Don't be, another side note, don't be cheesy and funky. Be real. Practice being a real person speaking to people on a camera. And in essence, you're actually speaking to your audience. So when I look at the camera, I'm not looking at the camera going, I'm speaking to a camera. I actually look at the camera and think to myself, I'm speaking to a big group, because I do some speaking, obviously. And in doing that, you have to learn to relate to people. Same thing is true for the camera. So learning to be able to do things in front of your camera, becoming comfortable on how to use the camera, essential. Nowadays, side note, I tell many actors, I go, look, if you don't know how to shoot your own stuff and you don't know how to edit it on your phone, or you don't understand how the sound works, you're probably in the wrong business. This is a great time to do what we're doing. And all of it starts with the fact that we now have the technology to do whatever we want and put it wherever we want. Okay, next tip. It's over there. Oh, there it is. So I don't want to get too deep into this next tip, but what I do want to tell you is the first thing I said was research, and it was very important. There's another part of this I want you to research and understand. And again, we'll have a lot of this stuff going on the site, on the Facebook site, and all the other places. And that is the technology. I've talked about this pretty much throughout this whole segment. And I want you to understand some basic things. Because of our phones and because of technology, we're able to have equipment and get it in really easy places like eBay. Get a lot of stuff on eBay. Craigslist. This is an iPhone holder or a smartphone holder, has a tripod holder. The last thing you want to do, and here's the tip, is bad quality. Bad quality sound and bad quality lighting and bad quality acting. So none of these things are going to help you succeed. So I'm telling you, you can get things like this is actually fits a phone in it, any model, and it has a place where you can put lenses on it. This here is called a gimbal, a DJI gimbal. The camera goes in here, and it's a motorized thing that allows you to be able to shoot stuff, because you should get into this. Really get into this, okay? And in doing this, this equipment is really cheap. This is like $10. Get good ones. We'll have a list of things you can get. These things are $20, $30. They have buttons to be able to do what you need to do. I have here a teleprompter that is what I use a lot of times when I do auditions, which has the mirror, and you can put the computer in it and read the script that you want to read. The lighting, pretty simple. All this stuff came from eBay. eBay has tons of this stuff. Now, again, back in the day, this was thousands of dollars to get a lot of this stuff, and really to try to understand it, it was another whole world. But now, because of technology and because people are out there competing for this equipment, you can get it relatively inexpensive. Like, I got all my lights, like 5 of them, which includes this light up here you can't see, for about $150. That's insane. Okay, I mean, you can get anything you want, props, whatever you want to get. This, my favorite prop in the world. Yeah, all right. Action. Yeah, that one, priceless right there. And really loud. Let's go to the next tip. That was like a bowling alley. I don't know. It's just... Okay, so the next tip I want to give you is, well, it's not really a tip, it's a statement. Commitment. What you're trying to do if you want to try to do this world of acting, whether, again, you're starting off and never done it before, or you're coming back into it, you need the commitment. This is a very, very difficult career to try to do, but it's a lot of fun when you get in front of the camera, or you get on stage, or you do whatever you want to do, whether it's modeling, acting, magic, whatever, gymnastics you're performing, or speaking. As a public speaker, this is extremely important for you. What I'm trying to tell you is that you need to make a commitment. We really appreciate you coming to allcasting.com, but we want you to make the commitment and make the steps to be able to do this. And that does start with the research, understanding what you're doing, what's good, what's bad, looking at other actors online, because there's tons of them, and their demo reels and what they've done to see what you should be doing. Emulating and copying is the best form of flattery. It's also the smartest thing to do when it comes to acting. Now, I'm not saying go out there and pretend that you're Brad Pitt and watch all the Brad Pitt movies and go, yeah, I'm the next Brad Pitt. Well, you might be that type, but more importantly, watch them and their careers, okay? Because again, this is a business. And if you're doing a business, then you know darn well that you will, when you do this, you do the research and development, saying, oh, this business has done this. Let's say it's a donut shop. They did this and that and this they did, it didn't work. Well, you don't want to repeat it. History repeats itself. Let's not repeat the bad stuff. So going forward, committing to getting the right information and committing to doing things and taking action steps. Doing action steps is absolutely essential to becoming a good working professional actor. Well, that's it. That's all I have for you today, but make sure you follow us on allcasting.com and subscribe, and please leave comments, because we love to look at them and see if we can answer any questions and create more video series like this one. Again, subscribe, get all the information you can. The only thing stopping you from being successful as an actor is yourself. So get the information, get the knowledge, follow us, subscribe, and we're going to give you more information you could possibly imagine, because this is about understanding what to do next. So that way you can be successful. And again, it all starts with one thing. Action! I love this thing. I love it. I sometimes feel like I should wear this on my head. Bye.
That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Please clear the set.